everybody, and welcome to Spiny Talk, sponsored by X Keys. I'm Miranda.
And I'm Maggie. Thanks for joining us.
So we got a really good show for you guys today, but first let's take a look at what we're streaming with.
All right, Miranda is controlling the show today using our XKE40 and also an XK16 stick.
Yep, we are using vMix Pro version 23 as well as vMix Social on the Kindle Fire, so make sure you drop us some comments.
You'll be able to see us through our lovely PTZ Optics USB camera.
Yep, and for sound audio, we are using our Audio Technica mic with the Behringer UMC 202.
All right.
So, like I said, we got a great show for you guys today. Let's go ahead and dive into our first segment.
XK's in the wild.
All right, Spiny has been busy again this week.
Yes, for sure. So XK's in the wild. So why would somebody want to do this in the wild? Well, let me tell you. So we offer a great warranty extension program. If you buy any XKeys off the shelf, you're going to get this lovely flyer in the box. This information is also available on our website. If you post or on any of these social media platforms and tag us in a review on Facebook, on Twitter, on Amazon, for each review, we will actually extend your warranty an additional year, which is a great program. You already get a year included, so definitely participate in that. You can post it even in the XKeys user group. You can post it anywhere, and we will find you, or Spiny will find you. So I think there's also another reason too.
There is more. We also do an XKeys in the Wild giveaway. So again, submit your XKeys in the Wild pictures to what Maggie just said, Facebook, Twitter, Amazon, sales at xkeys.com, and you could win $50 worth of free custom acrylic keys. You do have to be present on the day of drawing, but it's a pretty good deal.
Heck yeah.
So let's take a look at the people that submitted it this week.
All right, first one looks like Jeff Gillian, and he is using an XK16 strip as well. And so what's great about these is you can slide that in any small space. So it looks like he's definitely taking advantage of the layout. So good job, Jeff.
Yeah. And this next one is Kyle Gundermen. He's got our XK24 there right next to his keyboard.
Thanks, Kyle. Ooh, this is from the Steeds. Martin Steeds got his XK24 set up. I'm assuming he's using vMix. I'm not sure where the studio is, but I'm so glad to see that little guy on the table. Thanks, Martin.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, so into the group of XKeys in the Wild. I think we've been doing it every 3 to 4 weeks, something like that.
Yep.
We've been streaming a lot more since we've been in quarantine, and once again, we are roommates. That's why we're so close right now. So we are obeying the isolation rules, but we're stuck in here together. So
might as well stream, right?
Yeah. Right on.
All right. Let's go into our next feature. All right. Feature of the month. So this week we do have a guest on the show, which is awesome. I've got a short little clip here to introduce him. Take a look.
All of the TriCasters have an option to come with a control surface middle. They have ones that are made for specifically for inputs, and then many more inputs through NDI. And at the bottom, you got the IP series or the VMC, which looks a lot more like a traditional broadcast switcher. You don't need to use one of these. You can do everything through the mouse, which is actually what I'm going to be predominantly showing you today, for two reasons. One, these do cost more money, so if you're looking to start bare bones, you can work with just the TriCaster. And also, I actually don't have a control surface with me right now. I took home an entire setup for work right before this whole coronavirus thing hit, thinking that I would maybe be out for 1 or 2 weeks. But it turns out that it's a lot longer than that. So I'm here without a control surface. That being said, TriCaster can let you use external control surfaces. I see actually Chris here is in the chat. Just for reference, the current going price for the Mini 4K is $79.95. Thank you, Chris. So if you don't want to get one of these control surfaces, you can't afford it yet, or you don't have enough room, you can actually use external accessories to do this. My favorite way to do that is something called XKeys. This is what I use for my day job right now, mostly because I just don't even have room on my desk right now. I have an audio mixer, I have 2 computers and my TriCaster monitors and everything else. So this actually does everything that I need it to do. I was able to label it and customize it. And these costs, these start at less than $100, but they can get much fancier than that. So for certain applications, especially where you're trying to do very few things, sometimes an external thing like this might be better. You know, I'm not a new tech official salesperson because I'm not sure if they'd say, hey, don't get the control surface. So you
All right.
Hey, Ben. Thanks for coming on, man.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people, they'll go on a talk show and they'll have like a clip of a movie to show, or they'll like talk about their latest projects. I just get let in with like 2 minutes of me talking about TriCaster and buttons.
Yep.
We're a button company, man, so it's fitting.
Oh, very cool. So how did you find out about X keys?
So one of the first studios that I really built out was for the Anthony Cumia show. It's now called Compound Media. If you've heard of Opie and Anthony, it's the remnants of that show. And I was using a TriCaster, and I was doing a whole lot of shows, and I just needed more buttons than my control surface had. So I Googled. I actually found a competitor to yours. I honestly forget what they're called. I haven't used them in such a long time. It was like a 10 by 10 MIDI macro panel. And then it was just over time, it was just not doing the job. I had to like permanent marker and like masking tape on labels and everything. It just didn't look good. It wasn't good to use every day. And it was probably the #1 tool I was using as an accessory to my TriCaster. So I did a little bit of searching to see what a better tool was. And then the only thing out there I could even consider using was X keys. It did everything I needed to do. It had the removable caps. I could put in all the good labels. I could print out all the nice labels. Had the customizable backlight and everything. It just worked with TriCaster. So basically every studio I've used since then has had an X keys in it.
Very cool.
That is just awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and you've done a lot of really cool stuff, so that is exciting to hear.
Yeah.
Glad it's just working for you.
Absolutely.
Thanks for making buttons that work.
Yeah.
There you go.
So you actually sent me a bunch of images, so I'm gonna go ahead and show those if you want to talk about them.
all of the TriCasters have an option to come with a control surface. Right here, you see 4 of the control surfaces up top.
Anthony Cumia studio. I actually did the show out of his basement. It was basically just it was a live stream podcast talk show kind of thing based off of an old radio show. So luckily he had a full setup there. This is prior to me getting that fancier new studio. So that's basically it. Just a TriCaster setup. I got an audio mixer there, a computer to bring in elements, but a very basic green screen studio. And here is actually my current home studio. This was my setup probably about a month ago. It's had some upgrades since then. But I've got a TriCaster 460 in this. I have a New Tech Talk Show 4000, so I can bring in 4 Skype signals. Got a mixer. And there you can see my little X keys pretty much centered in that image over there. I got a Mac there to bring in elements and do all my producing, also my laptop. Nice little home setup. It let me do everything I need. I currently work at this company called, they have the publishing rights to Sports Illustrated, and they also own Jim Cramer's company, The Street. So I've been running a lot of their breaking news content right out of my parents' guest bedroom in their existing house. Here is just, I get to work with some cool people. We had an interview here with Keegan-Michael Key. Big football fan. We shot this during the draft. I get to work with cool people. And here is a slightly more recent. This is my picture I took on NFL draft night. So at Sports Illustrated, we did draft videos for every single major top 100 draft pick. So we were just churning out these videos. I even have a little screen in there that has the broadcast going on so I could see what's going on. And again, all of this, I don't have a TriCaster control surface. I am using my X keys pretty much exclusively to control the TriCaster. Here, Adam Devine, wonderful guy. Just another one of those interviews I got to do. And yeah, that was a lot of fun. Really, really cool stuff I'm able to talk about. I have no way to elaborate on this. It's just a guy on a screen, but it's cool. And this is actually version 1 of my home studio. I normally live in Manhattan in a studio apartment. Studio as in the place that people live in a very small location with no separate bedroom and kitchen. That is my version of that. So this is the very first version of my studio, with just a mixer, just the X keys, and just my. I literally was using one screen for like 3 or 4 computers, just because I was completely out of space. So that was kind of V1 of what you can see behind me. And I actually won an Emmy once. I'm obligated to say it's a local New York Emmy for interactivity. I won it in 2008 for a show I did called Never Settle Show. It was an online live stream show, completely interactive. And when you get something like an Emmy, you're obligated to do silly things with it. So I took a little Conan pop and I put it in the top. Here, this is a production I did a couple months ago. This is the Stan Musial Awards. Shot this completely remote. Used a bunch of Blackmagic equipment for this. This actually aired on CBS proper, which was kind of the first big network thing I've ever done, which is very cool. I did this as a partnership with Al Roker Entertainment. And this is a double box featuring the 2 hosts of the show and the guests with a background. So I cannot really hear you right now. I don't know if it's me or if it's you. Let me see if it's me.
Can you hear us?
There we go.
Oh,
now I
goodness.
hear you. I can hear you loud and clear.
Once again, all the buttons. Pressing all the buttons.
Not sure what was going on there.
Too many
My bad.
buttons.
Yeah. So
It happens.
Conan.
Oh yeah. Speaking of Conan, I believe you sent me another clip.
We have lots of clips today.
Oh, yep.
All right, let's take a watch.
We'll make them.
Yeah.
Well, tonight, a fan named Ben Ratner thinks he caught a mistake. He says it happened when I was discussing the video that the city of Fresno made in response to my offer to give them our giant Conan bobblehead. Fresno made a video, they sent it to us, I showed it on the air, and then I made some comments about it. Ben claims I used the wrong legal term.
Hi Conan, Ben here, and I think I finally found an error on your show. It's about the Fresno bobblehead video that you posted a couple days ago when they put you on a merry-go-round as a cardboard cutout. You said that putting your cardboard cutout on a merry-go-round was slander because it made you look weird and creepy.
Which makes me look like a creep and a weirdo. That's classic defamation of character. Fresno, you owe me $25 million for slander.
Regardless of the fact that you don't need a cardboard cutout to make you look ridiculous, defamation of character does not fall under slander in this case. Slander requires the defendant to have malicious intent, and I don't think there was one bad thing about that video. Slander must also be spoken or gestured, none of which they did to you. This would fall under libel, which includes recorded images. So, Conan, I hope you get to talk this one over with your lawyers, and please don't count this against my internship application.
That's awesome.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I actually ended up interning there about a month after that aired. So
That is
Conan
so
clearly
neat.
has no control over his own show.
That's fantastic.
I love Conan. That was too cool.
I can't believe everything that you've done, and
So many people.
yeah, that's so cool.
Speaking of things you've done,
Right.
we also have one
Things
more
I've
clip.
did.
One more clip here for everybody.
Next up on American Ninja Warrior, young Ben Ratner coming to the starting line. And seeing him start here an aggressive early, and the run is over. Well, an unexpectedly short performance out of Ratner. Take a look at it again. You can see, gets to that third step and runs out of athleticism. Let's watch it in slow motion. And you can see a real trepidatious first 2 steps. And yet, some athleticism shockingly out of the man known as the Rat. Bounding from one step to the second. It's the third step, though, where gravity and reality catches up to him. And he just bails into the water he goes.
Oh, that is so fun. So
I went down there to do a completely separate shoot with the show Star Talk that I worked with. And I knew the host of the show, Matt Eisman, and he was like, you got to do it. I did it. I was there wearing jeans, did not have a change of clothes or a change of shoes, and I got very wet.
The rat. That was too funny. I've always wanted to try to do one of those courses. I would fail. I know I would, but I would still try.
Not easy.
Yeah, no.
Well, some of them just make it look so easy.
Yes, they absolutely do.
Yeah, they're cruel people.
Yes, they do. I want to go on the one that makes fun of it. I forget what it is. Wipeout. That's the one that I'd probably be good at.
Wipeout, most extreme elimination challenge, I think.
Right.
Oh, we got some
That's
good
so
comments.
funny.
Yeah, so
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go ahead and go into our last segment so we can go into question and answer. We have a lot of comments on here, so stick with us, Ben.
We'll be right back.
I'm around. I have nowhere else to go. I'm in quarantine.
Right,
Global
us
pandemic.
too. All right, Feel Good Friday. So my Feel Good Friday of this week, our favorite Chinese restaurant opened back up, so we got to eat there. Well, we got to get takeout and bring it back home, and it was amazing, and I'm just so happy about that.
It's the little things in life. We literally called once a week, every week, since we've been in quarantine to see if they had curbside pickup, and they haven't until this weekend. So crab rangoons for the win, and we ordered 3 orders of them, so we ate them for 3 different meals.
What can we say?
And my Feel Good Friday for the week is that we actually also picked up curbside food from our favorite pub in Williamston at Old Nation, and our bartender Jess was working, and we got to see her. She came out with a mask and gloves on, and it's been like 8 weeks since we got to see her face, and so that was really, really cool. She was very happy to see a familiar face. I know it's been hard on everybody, especially in the service industries, not seeing the regulars, not seeing people, any people, but especially people they're used to seeing all the time. So that made me feel good. So if anyone else has any other feel goods, please drop them in the comments, and we'll be happy to share them. So
all right,
yeah,
I'm going to bring Ben back in. Make sure his audio's on. There we go. All right, we have a lot of comments and everything.
Just a lot of action going on. Let me get back to the beginning here.
Maggie is
Let's do this.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it when people actually comment and interact. It makes the show so much more fun.
So Kyle is watching. Hey, Kyle.
Yeah, though I just gotta stare blankly into space.
That's okay. Stare away.
Hello, all.
Yep, Kyle. Kyle watches a lot. We love Kyle. He's one of our fans. Uses XKeys all the time, and this is actually the next comment. Shout out to our tech support. Looks like Kyle needs some help. I don't know if I want to read that, Mary.
Oh, yep. I have to say, support was very quick yesterday, helping getting my XK68 jug and shuttle working.
Yes.
We do have a great team. Our tech support is awesome.
Yes. Anytime you need help, tech@xkeys.com. It's tech@xkeys.com. They are great. Rudy's in the chat. He is over in Europe. I hope everything is well with you, buddy.
Hi, Rudy.
Yep. Steedy Cam. He's also one that had an XKeys in the wild. Love to see that.
Steedy.
And our friend Marie is watching. She's saying hello.
Hi, humans, hedgehogs, cats, and everything else.
Glad we were categorized as humans.
Yep. She's just saying hi again. Looks like Alexis is saying hi.
Hey, Alexis.
Ooh, who has the most quills? I don't know. Ben, what do you think the answer for this one is?
Who has the most quills?
I would say that I'm gonna go with hedgehogs because I think that their pattern. I think while they're smaller, they have a higher quill density, perhaps.
There you go. I like it.
That makes sense. I'd have to agree.
Well, it looks like you may have already responded to this. Looks like they were asking you about sports.
Favorite NFL team?
Favorite NFL team? I work at Sports Illustrated. I'm not a big sports guy. New York Mets. I'll go with the New York Mets.
Well, it was funny when we saw the XKeys when you were using it for the draft. Like I said, we're in Michigan, so I'm Maris too, but we're big Detroit Lions fans, and so it's kind of unfortunately a running joke that draft day is like our holiday because it's always gonna be our year. We're gonna get somebody that's gonna just change it around for us. So usually we have a big party. This year we did not. Obviously we're in the basement. We barely watched it, so I was like, oh no, I hope
you could never lose a game on draft day. So
exactly, everyone is undefeated. Yes, and Alexis appreciated that. Solid choice with your Mets. Looks like Dan's watching. Says that's a sensitive subject. Must have been about the quills. Oh, we're getting comments on your painting. I must have missed it. Is it in the
Sweet
background right
painting.
now?
Oh, that one, or maybe it's the one here that was painted of my brother years ago.
Ooh, there you
Wow.
go. You know, it's funny, all these people doing these streams, you notice stuff in the background, like we're trying to make our basement like not so basement-y. You have a great
I want to
setup.
just put up like a giant poster that says bookshelf.
There you go.
Do it.
Draw some books on there. Draw some faces. And I don't believe this, Martin. So Martin's in the UK, and every time we ask him where he's watching, it's been sunny, which I just don't believe. But he's
believe
also
it.
not a liar, so good for you, Martin. I'm so happy that it's sunny.
Yep, me too. It's supposed to snow here today. I don't know what the weather's like for you, Ben.
We're getting a cold front.
I think we're gonna get the tail end of that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dang it, spring's just never gonna come. It's just gonna skip. Looks like Tommy's watching.
Hey, Tommy.
He is in
Alabama.
Alabama.
Thank you for letting us know that your Earth is the location that you reside, Tom.
Yeah, Alexis.
I have a few other questions, but
Hey, you know, with
Yep.
Tommy, I don't know if you want to ask more questions. Alexis is appreciating what you've done. So is Dan. That's awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah, that's so cool that you get to meet and interview or work with so many people.
Heck yeah. All over the industries. Here's a good one.
So you're saying all this could happen to me if I keep using X keys?
they might not be able to legally say it because they work for the company. But I guarantee you, if you use X keys, you can be just like me.
Yeah! Great
Good job.
work. Oh, here we go.
Exclusions
Dan's
may
on
apply.
fire.
I didn't realize there was a Ninja X keys correlation. Oh, too
Hey.
funny.
You know, what's funny about the replay, we actually we have a replay model that we sell in XK64 with a jog shuttle and the T-bar, and when I saw that, I was like, oh man, we should have had something rigged up where we could actually play that backwards and replay. But yeah,
Yep.
so
Backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards.
yep,
Right.
slow motion stop, drag it back. It looks like
And Gardiv, humans give. I don't know how you say that. Chip might get put
oh
into
no, I didn't even read that. Sorry, Mer.
taken into the pokey people. So Chip is is the orange cat who usually joins the
know.
stream. I think he was napping upstairs. He's been really good at staying up all night, patrolling from window to window, particularly in my bedroom,
They're so sick
the
of
window
us.
above my head.
Yeah.
So he's passed.
Someone's got to do it.
You know, it's kind of a bummer he's not here. He's been the star of the show usually on these streams. So sorry, everybody that was looking for Chip. I don't know what the deal is, but they're sick of us.
Next time.
They're for sure sick of us. I think the first week they
I would be
were
too.
really
You're
happy.
interrupting their days at home, normally alone.
I mean, people always joked about how much cats sleep, but they really sleep about
all the time.
23 and a half hours out of the day.
It's out of control.
I just don't understand how someone
But
sleeps
Marie
that
Chip,
long.
I'm sure, gives his greetings to Hannibal as well.
Yeah, for sure. So do you have a Feel Good Friday, Ben?
Do I have a feel like a
Something
thing
like
that
good news, like something good to talk about. That's why we made that segment. We were so sick of all the sad stuff on the news. So
Yep, I just saved 15% or more in my car insurance by switching to Geico.
hey,
Nice.
That's awesome.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Alright,
So
well-
I think that was most of the comments. That was
Yeah.
fun.
If anybody has any questions for Ben, about anything, how
Anything.
stuff he's done, how he's
Anything at all.
Anything. We're all
Feel free, if you have questions after this, feel free to tweet me at Ben Makes TV. Love answering questions there.
Awesome.
Even if they're not about technology. I will talk to you about pizza and Diet Coke.
Ooh, Diet Coke pizza. What's your favorite pizza? You're a New Yorker, so I'm
Um,
curious.
There's no need to improve on just a good New York slice. Like plain New York cheese slice. That's it. No toppings, no nothing.
Wow, just cheese, huh? Hmm.
I mean, you can't.
It's so good. You don't need to you don't need to change it.
I've never even got to go to New York before.
Nope.
I've only drove through it. I've never actually visited, so it's on the list. I
Yeah, it's
highly
not that
doubt
exciting.
NAB New York would happen this year, but maybe next year when they have it.
October, I think there's
Maybe.
zero chance.
Yeah, probably. I know it's very
Dang it.
sad. We were just talking about that before the show went live. So, I mean, like we said, NAB New York isn't going to happen. IBC's probably not going to happen. But NAB Vegas next year might happen. So you mentioned you walked by the booth. Maybe next year you can stop in the booth and we can take you out for a bite or something. Do something fun.
Sounds good.
We were going to do karaoke this year, actually. Believe it or not in the booth, not at the show,
No.
but with some of our other colleagues with other companies, we were going to do a fun little karaoke party. So we'll make sure we send you the invite. If not, you can just enjoy the
next
show.
year.
Yeah, next year. So, maybe speed bowl.
Speed bowl.
We do a speed bowling event too. Not formal. It's something fun that we do with our buddies in the industry. So we'll keep you in mind.
So what is your favorite thing that you've worked on?
Favorite thing that I've worked on? I mean, getting to work with Neil deGrasse Tyson on Star Talk for the last 5 or so years was super cool. Met some really cool guests there. I got to help book some of the guests. We got like Adam Savage on from Mythbusters if you're a science person. I had Alton Brown on from Good Eats. Like people that I've always wanted to meet. Like booked them, so we got to meet them. So that was a lot of fun. Yeah, I got to say, working with that show is Bill Nye the Science Guy. Just getting my mind blown all the time.
That's insane. That's so cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Ugh, I can't even imagine. So I think this is at you.
Your X keys looks like it's pretty business. Any fun keys? I have a weather key. Exciting.
Any fun keys? Well, I've got keys that say 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I might put one that's bored or just something ridiculous on it. Or maybe I'll put like a pizza button on. Maybe I'll get one of those acrylic keycaps that just says pizza.
Yeah. Well, I told you we're going to make you a set. So if you want a pizza key, we will make you a pizza key.
We'll hook you up with some keys.
You can have it launch a website of your favorite pizza place and put all your information in. So you'll be ready to go.
I'm just going to get it to do the Little Caesars pizza sound every time I press it.
Perfect.
There you go.
Yeah, I think Mer still has a Miko key on here.
Oh yeah, Miko is
the other cat.
My audio because he's very loud, so I thought it was only fitting.
Usually he's down here, so we can mute real quick, so it's just his face on a key.
Yeah, I meant to put a chip key on there, but I ran out of time.
All right. Yes, pizza please. Martin approves of that. Yeah.
Nice.
Same thing about hitting. Oh, Marie's talking about. Whoop. Sorry, bear with me. Ah! Stop it, Maggie. Marie uses X keys for roller derby. She does a lot of the streaming over there in Europe. So.
What do you throw them at people while they're?
Yeah, she throws out the cord to trip them. No, her and her husband do a lot of streaming. They do a lot of instant replays. Her and John are great. Hello, you guys. I haven't seen you in the stream in a while, so thanks again for watching.
Yes.
Yes, people are very jealous of what you've done, Ben.
Oh, jealous of all the people.
Yeah, I've definitely been very lucky. Got to work with some very cool people.
Oh, here's a good one. Martin wants to know what's been your biggest near showstopper ever?
Biggest near show. Well, I'll give you 2. One, right before the NFL draft, the internet went out just completely. Like 10 minutes before the draft, I was like running around the house trying to make the internet work again. So that was fun. And then a couple of years ago, I was doing a shoot with McDonald's, the McRib Variety Spectacular, and just the internet did not play very nice there either. Basically, we had to not do the shoot live, and then we had to do it tape, and it was a whole thing. Everyone was there and was like, what's going on? Since then, I started using LiveU bonded cellular to make sure I always have a good internet connection. But that was... Yeah, it was a while before I could go back to McDonald's.
Right.
Wouldn't blame you there.
It's a lot of pressure. Yeah, let's see. Oh, gosh. We're talking about keys. I think Tom Sinclair
has a banana key.
A banana team.
Yep. So, VMix, their mascot is Dan the Banana. So.
Banana.
Yep. So Tom is a reseller for VMix, and so he has a banana key, which we hooked him up with.
Yes, he should. New Tech should have a sheep key. They used to have a sheep as their mascot or something. There's always sheep just falling down the screen.
Nice.
I
did not know that. Yeah, if you're not part of our XKeys user group, Ben, you should be on Facebook. It's fun. We get a lot.
I think I just joined it this morning.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Or if I didn't, I will right after this.
That's where a lot
I will
of
do
the
it right now.
fun talk comes from.
Perfect.
I don't know what this means. I'm a little concerned. I probably shouldn't put Tommy's
XKeys.
comments up here.
Put a mask on my mule. Oh,
Don't
Tommy.
know. I just don't know. Oh, yeah. So everyone's just isolated and streaming all the time, commenting all the time. Really appreciate you coming on. Seriously, it's
thanks for having me. Really appreciate
on
it.
The screen and
Joining the group right now.
Yay!
Perfect.
Cool.
We'll approve you after the show.
Yes, the moderators. But
Yeah.
well, anyone else got any more questions for us? Again, Ben was using that XK24 with his TriCaster. And you can get that on our website. You can even go through Amazon. Amazon is back to shipping again. Just a quick update. Before they were not shipping out any Prime orders. I believe everything is back to normal. For them, they hired hundreds of thousands of more employees to try to get the process going. So I think things are getting better. We're still not in the office shipping every day, but we are answering emails every day. So if you guys have any inquiries, please shoot me over an email at sales@xkeys. I'm happy.
I've got one. I see Steadicam asked what is at the top of my bucket list.
Oh, here we go. Yep.
Not an experience per se, but one of my my next XKeys thing that I want to buy. I want to get one of the foot pedal ones. Because I'm basically going between two shots all day, like wide shot, two shot, wide shot, two shot. And I'd love to just be able to do it with my feet, have my hands completely available so I could, do a little more with my hands or do other stuff or, not even just go no hands at all. So that's my next toy that I want to get.
Awesome.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and like I was telling you, we have a wide variety of foot pedals. We have the rear and the front. Depends if you want to be able to rest your foot on it. We have one where you can actually rest it. It's almost like a gas pedal. You can either push the gas down or the other one you can rest your foot on. Well, we have an
I'm just going to get like 50 of them under my table so I could just...
You could do 50, man. Yeah. We have a switch interface box. You can hook up to 12 individual foot pedals.
You get different colors.
Different colors and color code it. We hook you all up. So
challenge accepted.
Let's see. Slider D's not in the chat, Marie. I'm not sure if he's got a goat key.
I don't know.
People are so funny.
Meh.
Yeah, that's a whole nother thing. There was goats in Amsterdam, and it's a whole thing. I don't know. We obviously like animals. Goats, sheep, what else we talked about today? Hedgehogs. Porcupines. Do you have any animals, Ben?
I've got a saltwater fish tank. Does that count? They very rarely interrupt my frame because they are not in this room.
I love saltwater fish. Those are high maintenance, though. I'm impressed. My dad has.
They're a little needy. I'll be honest.
They're beautiful, though. That's fun.
Really
I'm a scuba diver, so I like to captivate the things that I can see.
So you've done a lot of really cool things in your professional world since you're a scuba diver. Where have you scuba dived? That's been the coolest.
There is this island called Bonaire. It's right by Aruba, Curacao, and they have some of the best diving on Earth, or below the surface of the water of the Earth. And it's just beautiful, tropical. Every kind of fish is there. That's my go-to place.
That's awesome.
So cool.
I've actually been a few times. My dad lives in Florida. He used to be an instructor, and so I actually got to go to the Keys once, and I saw a lot of really scary things, but I was fine. Barracudas and things that at 15 you're like, this is how.
Crazy shark, doo-doo, doo-doo, doo-doo.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Scuba diving's on my bucket list. I went snorkeling for the first time here in California, and I just want to go scuba diving now. It looks so cool.
It's really neat. I was trying to explain to her, I'm like, once you're under there, like you're just like another fish. They're not scared of you. I don't know. It's such a hard thing to explain to people that have never.
Yeah, they don't care about you.
No,
you're just there.
Exactly. So Marie says, "Look, Mom, no hands. Woo, foot pedal."
Oh my.
Yeah, it looks like Martin he needs some foot pedals. I know. We have a UK distributor, actually, keyboard specialist, and I might be able to make that happen, Martin. I know that they have some foot pedals. I think we're going to be bringing you on here within the next couple of weeks, hopefully talking about vMix Call, so maybe we can make that happen, bud. We're starting the foot pedal train. Dan says that he needs 12 foot pedals now. All the foot pedals.
Oh no, I didn't mean 12 foot pedals. I meant one 12-foot pedal.
Oh. I gotcha. Get over.
Yeah.
Yes. Tommy, thank you. We do need to hit the thumbs icon. Please like and
Yes.
subscribe our pages, guys. We love having friends. So every week we try to inform you of some information and also have a little fun.
Yep.
Here we go. You got some fans, Ben.
I knew I liked Ben. He's a scuba diver.
Scuba fiber?
I know.
Scuba
Ben, he's
diver?
a scuba fiber.
I don't
Yes, I am a
really-
scuba fiber.
Oh, she just corrected it. Diver.
Diver.
I was gonna say, I don't think that's a
Wow.
translation thing, but you know, hey, whatever
Too
works.
funny.
That was too funny.
Not quite.
No.
Miranda, do it. Oh, she's telling you to go scuba diving. It's on
I
the
want
list.
to.
We were actually gonna go down to Florida to see my dad.
Yeah.
But
Ben.
COVID.
You know,
a
COVID.
lot of things happened. We were gonna go to Tennessee. Nashville was on the list. Never been there. A lot of
Florida,
things haven't
Laughlin.
happened. I think 2020 is just gonna be a wash. We're just gonna not really talk about 2020.
Eh, skip it. Reset.
I like that idea.
But I mean, okay, there's a lot of negative going on in the world, but I have never felt more connected to people.
It's true.
With the whole streaming and internet, and weird how this is actually bringing people together more.
It is weird, but I like it.
Yeah, no. Technology is. I'm not that I'm happy that we're going through a global pandemic, but I'm
No.
happy like right now and not like 25.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, what a good time for just global destruction.
You know, hey, at least we can all watch it happen, I guess.
I mean, yeah.
Something like
I
that.
don't know. I mean, there's a lot going on, but I mean, we're still actually pretty comfortable at home.
Yeah,
I mean,
we're super lucky. I always tell people that we're roommates, and I couldn't be more happy about that. I am not a loner. I have to have people in my life. I would be going crazy. We actually did. I'm gonna admit this live on the internet. We became the cats. We noticed the other day. So we put bird feeders out in both windows that we have. There's a lot of birds here, and we were actually up in the window, like so into the squirrel trying to steal the feed, and the blue jay was coming down, and we were so into it. And I looked over, and both cats were sleeping on the couch. And we were
Oh,
up
no.
at the window, and I was like, Miranda, what is happening? Has this really become this? Like,
Yeah.
this is
What is
our
going
life
on
right
here?
now. But like I said, we really like sports, so we were both like, what's gonna happen? Is he gonna come back? Is he gonna come steal it? It's just, yeah. So it needs to get nice weather. That's long story short on that one.
Right.
So,
Agreed. Enjoy your snowstorm this weekend.
oh my
Thanks.
gosh,
Kill all the flowers.
you know, I have buckets over some plants out front. I'm just trying to save spring, but you know, it's Michigan. It's gonna be like, you like that sun? Here it comes. So
Cool. I actually have to get back to work. We got
Yeah, I
all
was
the
gonna
NFL
say.
schedules out today, so I've got to shoot a bunch of videos for that.
Yep,
Good.
no problem.
that's exciting, though. It makes me hopeful. Some sort of
Sports.
normalcy might be back in
sports.
to the fall, maybe.
Sure, I will.
Well, thank you so much for coming
Yeah.
on. We really appreciate it. You've done a lot of cool stuff, so I'm glad we inserted ourselves into your world. And hopefully we'll talk again. So,
Cool. Sounds good. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah,
All
thank
right,
you.
Thanks everybody for watching. I don't know.
Yep,
Sorry,
I'm gonna
Mar.
go to us.
She's driving.
Just press any button.
Press
all the buttons. Oh, thank you,
All right,
Ben.
thanks, Ben.
Bye.
All right.
Woo!
That was
was fun.
awesome. So happy that Ben was able to come on.
Yes.
Um,
Thank you, everybody, for
thank you,
watching.
everybody. I've got one
We
more.
miss all you guys.
I really do. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit the thumbs up on this video, and yeah.
Yeah. And if you also did not get enough of us, we have been guest appearances frequently on the Petrol Pricing, which is the show that Tim from VMix has run, I think, for a couple months. So that's on Thursday nights at 8 p.m.